we've worked with like over 200 celebrities now, but started off with Yanni from Yanamize, and that was the first one. He did a story of like the van rolling up the driveway, tagged us on Instagram saying like the garage style team are here, and like we were trying to start laying the tiles and my phone was just ringing off the hook. That was the first time we really saw the power of social media.
The listeners now, they've 200-300 followers. Are there any strategies or anything they could adopt, let's say tomorrow?
Yeah, so
really
the good thing with
that?
Instagram now.
So what lessons do you think you would take from those sort of instances that you've had?
One, I don't know if you know James Sinclair, I called him last week. He's always one to say don't rely on any one person, so one supplier, one big customer. It's because if that goes down, it can be catastrophic.
Best money you've ever spent in business?
I would say...
My guest today is Harry Harvey. He turns normal garages into absolute showrooms, and he's worked for over 200 celebrities, including Justin Bieber, Jake Paul and Harry Maguire. He started off by selling crafted knives, and now he does garage floors for thousands of people. So, Harry, welcome to Working On It.
Nice one, thanks for having me.
No, you're welcome, mate. No, well, great story. So tell me, how do you go from selling knives on eBay...
Yeah.
to sorting out Jake Paul's garage floor?
Yeah, so we take it back to the start. I was working at Mercedes, so straight from school I did an apprenticeship with Mercedes. Me and my brother both did.
Yeah.
So I was working there, but I come from a very entrepreneurial family. So my dad runs his own business, both my brothers run their own businesses, all my uncles. It's kind of like everyone's an entrepreneur. So I was always working at Mercedes, good job, company car at a young age, but I was like, I want to do my own thing. So I was always on the lookout for how can I get out of here and do my own thing. So started selling stuff on eBay. Yeah. So just all random stuff. So the crafting knife is actually one of my dad's companies. So his father invented loads of different products, one of them being a crafting knife. So yeah, when my dad kind of started mass producing that product, it was like, me and my brother were both sort of teenagers, and he was like, right, you take it for eBay and you take it for Amazon, because he didn't know where to start with the online stuff. Right. So that was kind of one of the first products where it started selling well on eBay, and my phone was going ka-ching every 10 minutes, and it was kind of like, right, I like this. So it was, what else can I order? So I ended up with 1,400 eBay listings.
Wow. Just
ordering all sorts, and every lunchtime at Mercedes I was packaging up jiffy bags, driving to the post office, sending them out. And I built that up to doing about 15 grand revenue a month.
Yeah.
So it was kind of paying all my mortgage. I didn't really need to work anymore. So then I was kind of like, right, it's time to leave Mercedes. But I knew that wasn't scalable to rely all on eBay. So yeah, I was just on the lookout for something I could build into a brand. And garage flooring is something I came across on Instagram. So I just saw people doing it in America. So it's massive out there, and wasn't really anyone doing it properly in England. And I knew of some similar tiles for like industrial use. So yeah, I basically took a product that already existed and said, let's market it for garages. And yeah, started off doing little local shows. So you turn up to a show that might cost £20 to have a little table and show the product. And I might have only walked away from the show with one job, but then the neighbour wanted it done. And kind of that's where the first jobs came from. And I remember saying back then, it's like, if I can do a couple of jobs a week and do my eBay stuff, then I'll be happy. And obviously it's just kind of naturally scaled and got to where it is today over a long period of time. But yeah, it's kind of obviously took over all the eBay stuff, and I still have that eBay account, but do very little with it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's like still
can't let go.
Yeah, my brother does the fulfillment, so I don't really do anything with it now. But yeah, it's kind of, I always knew eBay wasn't scalable. You're kind of in their hands. They can delete products or delete your account or anything like that. So yeah, I was always on the lookout to do something, and yeah, kind of went super niche into modular floor tiles for garages.
Yeah, I mean that's quite a story. But I think when you set out like that, I think would it be fair to say that craftsmanship, you know, that eye for detail, sounds like it probably was in your blood, really.
Yeah, I think so.
Like your dad, and then his dad.
Yeah, so my dad's had multiple businesses, and some of which have failed. But yeah, when he picked up this grafting product, it was like, it works like a pen. We'll have to send you a picture or a video. But yeah, it works like a pen, but it cuts at the same time. So it was quite a unique product. And when we started out, it was like, I think first he got like 200 made. From China, got a box turned up, and we went and did a crafting show and sold the whole lot, and we were like, bloody hell.
Wow.
So then it was kind of like order more, and we started off doing those events all around the country. So it was like probably the best sales training, because my dad used to just say, right, there's a box of stuff, go and sell it. And we used to pay him like a set price per unit that we sold. So if we didn't sell anything, we didn't make anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, me and Charlotte, my wife, just kind of went all around the country every weekend, doing shows. We did some abroad. And yeah, it's good. Like, it's the sort of product, it's only £20, so you need to be selling it all day long. So it was kind of start off, not really know what we're doing, and perfect the sales pitch and stop everyone who's walking past. And yeah, we earned some really good money from it, to be fair. I think we still own the record for the most sold in a day out of everyone that does the events for him. But my brother still does a lot of the events.
Yeah.
But yeah, then obviously it went onto social media and we helped with that. And that's, yeah, it's had a load of viral videos now. So that's going really well.
Brilliant.
But that was, yeah, one niche product to the next.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was always, I think that was the first taste of kind of entrepreneurship. Like I say, it was my dad's company, but it was like we were buying it for one price, selling it for another price, paying for all the events and everything, and keeping whatever profit we can make. So yeah, that was the first taste of working for myself. And from that point, it was like, right, I need to find something that I can do full time.
Yeah. And obviously went into garage floors.
Yeah, garage floors, super niche. There's obviously some companies doing it now, but back then, 2017, it was kind of something people hadn't seen before.
Yeah.
So when we were doing shows, people would pick up the tiles and say, oh, I thought it was going to be like a soft foam or whatever. And yeah, it kind of sold itself. And then through working with celebrities and growing the socials, we really built that brand.
So I've seen some of the videos of the floors that you've done, and is it like a screed, or is it just
so we've got so a few different types. So we started with modular tiles, so mainly PVC tiles. We've got some other like rubber gym tiles and some other products, but yeah, we started with that, and we only did tiles probably for about 5 years. After that, we introduced garage doors, storage systems, even painting the walls. So kind of went into the full makeovers.
Wow.
And then only back in the last year, we trained some of the team in resin. So that's probably what you've seen, where they're kind of screeding the floors and doing mad designs over the top.
That's it. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah,
marble effect and different patterns.
Yeah. So that's something fairly new for us, and a whole nother level of sort of clients. It's a lot more expensive system, but it comes out really high end looking. So yeah, that's something pretty new that we're doing. And we went and did. You probably saw that Matt Armstrong job in Miami.
Yeah, I saw that. Is that the guy that buys the cars and then he buys like crash damaged supercars? That's it.
But he's been a client since he first started, so it was like small units, and he's kind of built it up to what it is now.
I mean, he's got some amazing business now, hasn't he?
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, the engagement he's got, every time we post a video or picture with him in it, it just goes crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a good guy. Like I say, we've worked with him for a long time, and that was the most recent one. We kind of let him know, right, we're all trained in resin now, and he was like, would you come to Miami like in 2 weeks and do a floor for us? And it was like, we're not really ready for it, but we'll give it a go. And yeah, it came out really nicely. So
how do you get into Justin Bieber and Jake Paul then? Yeah,
so all through social media. So we've worked with like over 200 celebrities now, but started off with Yanni from Yanamize. I don't know if you know who that is.
No, but I must say, a bit of a disclaimer, I kind of got my head in the clouds a lot of the time we mention names and things, so yeah, forgive me, but I don't know all the names. But
yeah. So he's does car rapping, and he had his own TV show, and he was big on socials, and that was the first one. So he's local to us, and someone reached out and said, oh, Yanni's looking for a new floor, I think you should go and do it for him, and it'd be good promotion.
Right.
And to be honest, I didn't even know who he was at the time either, so I drove down there. As soon as I walked in, he said, look, I don't want anything for free. Just do me a good price and I'll help you out. And I didn't really know much about social media myself back then. So I was kind of like, all right, we'll cover all our costs, make a small profit, but not as much as we should. And I was a one-man band, so it was like take 5 friends in for the weekend to help. I think it was over Christmas. Yeah, it was over Christmas. He was like, that's the only time I can shut the warehouse.
Yeah.
So yeah, we went and did that. And I think when we first turned up, he did a story of like the van rolling up the driveway. Tagged us on Instagram saying like the garage style team are here, and like we were trying to start laying the tiles and my phone was just ringing off the hook.
Really?
That's when I first kind of saw the power of it. And I remember going upstairs to him saying like, thank you so much, but we can't even get started, because obviously I had no back office staff and my phone was just going mental. So that was the first time we really saw the power of social media and influencer marketing back then.
That is crazy, isn't it? So like from a business standpoint, it's like you took a bit of a gamble by only turning just a small profit, covering your costs and a small profit.
Yeah.
But you saw the marketing aspect of it. You saw, you know, what it could have perhaps turn into.
Yeah, exactly. And back then it used to work really well. So now, obviously, influencer marketing is so saturated that someone can shout you out and you don't get anything off the back of it. So now it's a lot harder. But back then it was like certain people would shout us out and it would just go crazy. The audience would grow massively. Inquiries would come in. There was one customer, Mrs. Hinch. I don't know if you're familiar with her. She's
No, I know her.
Yeah.
I know her only from my wife.
Yeah. So again, my wife was a fan of her page. She's just like a cleaning influencer, showing hacks and stuff around the house. But her page was going crazy at the time. And again, someone just reached out and said apparently she's looking for garage flooring. So we spoke to her, and that was probably one of the best ones we've ever done. When she every now and again she tags us in something. Now she might be cleaning the garage, and it just comes up like Mrs. Hinch mentions you in the story, and the phones, you wouldn't believe how crazy it goes.
I mean,
that's
insane.
Her engagement is like on another level. So all of those inquiries, like they want the same colour floor as her.
Yeah. So, you know, like when people years ago, it'd be like, probably I can imagine now. I don't really go to the barbers as much, you know, as you can imagine. But years ago, when I used to have hair, it would be like a certain style, like the David Beckham or the David Gillen or you know, something like that. But nowadays, it's almost like, can I have the Mrs. Hinch, please, on the garage floor?
Same with Matt Armstrong. Like I said, we did that in resin, and the resin is obviously like a piece of art. So it's like there's hundreds of colours. You can mix them all differently, and everyone's just saying, I want exactly what Matt Armstrong had.
Do you brand it like that? Just would you like the Armstrong or do you want Mrs. Hinch?
Well, people do say, they do call it by those names. But it's like our team are like, we want to do all different colours because you can do some crazy combinations. But every time it's like, no, another one the same as Matt Armstrong's. But I think people like get inspiration from them and see how it came out. And it's good. But so like the Justin Bieber and Jake Paul was just more sort of going through celebrities and building those contacts, and then obviously people know that they can trust us, because you get a lot of celebrities who their address ends up getting leaked, or people film stuff they shouldn't film, like the door number on the front of the house or whatever it is. So obviously our team are used to doing that. It's always have that trust and make sure everything gets signed off, and I think that really helps then get recommended to more. It's pretty crazy when you see one of those DMs come through.
So you've built that purely from social media, pretty much?
Yeah. So like I said, to start with, so to give you a bit of background, I'm completely useless with any technology. Like I don't use a laptop, I don't use a computer. All I use is an iPad every day on my phone. Just because I don't even try and learn how to do it. I'm just one of those people. I don't. Technology just doesn't work with me. So
you know where your strong points are.
Yeah. So social media, again, I didn't really know what I was doing, but I was just posting stuff every day, and then learning little tweaks and reordering stuff and learning what worked. And then obviously videos came out, learning what sort of videos are going to work, and just tweaked it every day really, and almost obsessed with the social. So it was, the early days was like just grow the followers. So it wasn't grow the revenue of the business. It was just, when can we get to 50,000 followers, 100,000, and obviously the business grew off the back of that. But it's like, we spent all our time on socials, and we still do now. But I think Instagram Reels was a good one, because we were so early on TikTok. We had a friend who runs a big car event, and he said to us, get on TikTok, and we were like, what the hell was that? It's like when it first came to the UK.
Yeah. So
we were just posting random supercars and stuff, and then started posting some flooring stuff, and it started blowing up. So we were so early on that when Instagram Reels came out, we already knew like the style of videos that would work, and I think that really helped. But we spend a lot of time on social media, and we've now tweaked it, so we've got a formula that works, and we've introduced that same formula to other brands.
I mean, that's pretty amazing to think that it's all just gone from, like some people mentioning you to now the business that you have now is like an international, business. It's quite amazing, and all of it just from social media. Yeah.
So most of the brand, we obviously do have a forms of marketing, but most of the brand is built off the back of the socials.
Just because the power of it, though, isn't it? That's the thing.
Yeah.
It was probably about a year ago. I went on this like business seminar, and I wasn't very big in social media anyway. I'm probably late to the party, but only probably last, June, July time last year, really. I did sort of like, so probably over a year, really got properly involved. And before that, I went to a business seminar, and it was to do with like how to build your business, branding and marketing and so on. And they, like what you said about, the followers.
Yeah.
The followers being your currency. The attention is the currency, the new currency. And I was thinking, No, it isn't. It's like relationships, it's trust, it's,
Yeah.
you know, all that stuff. But I think, well, actually, it comes from
Yeah, it
constantly
works.
showing up, doesn't it?
Yeah, it
They're
works
getting
together.
to know you. So when they see you, they've already consumed like probably hours of your content. They feel like they really know you so well.
Yeah,
And it's just that familiarity, isn't
and
it?
something like we just got back this last weekend. We were at Goodwood Festival of Speed,
Mm.
so that's one of our best
I
shows.
saw
There's
that.
like
Yeah, that
200,000 people
yeah.
there, and all day long it's people coming up, shaking your hand. And I said to Ollie, who works with us, it's like sometimes you don't know if you've met them before, and you feel quite rude. 'Cause then there's like some of them are customers, so it kind of takes you a minute to work out.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember you. We did the floor, but yeah, you do get that people kind of feel like they know you because they've seen the videos.
It's probably even more awkward or certainly unsure in, you know, if they know your name.
Yeah.
And then they go, oh, hello, mate, how you doing? Hello, how are
There
you?
was one person we saw there who
Yeah.
knew my wife and son's name, and I was thinking, oh, I must know this person. But obviously speaking to people all day long there.
Do you do the thing of just carrying on the conversation until hopefully it comes
Yeah,
clear?
all the time you were like,
oh yeah, I'm
I
good,
was
thanks,
gonna-
mate. How you
yeah,
doing?
That's what I said to Ollie. We got a few questions, as in like, oh, you just come up for the day, talking about the weather and stuff, buying yourself a bit of time to try and work out who it is. And
Do I really know them?
yeah, but no, it is mad.
Yeah. So, where's the biggest platform that you've had? Because you mentioned that you've got hundreds of thousands of followers. Is it like YouTube?
No, so our biggest platform is Instagram.
Right. Okay.
We do all the platforms really, but we've got we do YouTube, a lot of short form stuff, and we're getting more into the long form stuff there.
Yeah.
And then Instagram and TikTok we post daily, but yeah, Instagram is kind of our core one that we spend most of our time on.
Would you say it's? I don't want to say past it because it's not past it, but like you already mentioned, it's saturated. But
yeah, it's always evolving. So it's like
Right.
we first started influencer marketing was the thing, and I think back then it wasn't so common. So if somebody promoted something random, it's like everyone kind of thought, oh, that must be good, and would go and buy it. Whereas now I think people see past it because it's 9 years further on. It's like people go, no, they've just been given a discount or whatever to promote it. So I think that's become more saturated. It still works with the right people, but with your sort of average influencers and celebrities, you don't get the reach that you used to get. But so yeah, it's always evolving. And I think I mentioned to you off camera, we've got a separate company we've set up now called Proven Content Club.
yeah,
And yeah, we're starting to train businesses just in small groups. I've always been doing it with people we know, but just made it more official. And that's the kind of thing we're talking about because it's always evolving. It's like for the last few years, Reels has been the way of doing it. Photos haven't been getting any reach, and suddenly now carousel, like photos, multiple pictures, are now getting better engagement than Reels. So it's
really?
There's always
That's interesting.
there's always little things changing, and it's just staying ahead of those trends and being ahead of the curve when those changes do happen. But it all comes down to testing. And
I think that's the thing, isn't it? It's constant. I mean, like, it's been the way of business and anything really. It's like constantly test and measure.
yeah,
And those that focus on that are the ones that really grow, because it's the old thing, isn't it? Like, where your focus goes, your energy flows, and results show.
Yeah.
So whether you just focus on it and you're constantly testing, measuring stuff, constantly testing, measuring the hooks, the body, the CTAs, all that sort of thing.
yeah. And I would say to people, don't try and look too much into it. You get people who are like only posting really polished videos that have taken loads of time editing. And you post a 10-second clip that's just straight off your phone and it does better reach. So I'm always one for just post as much as possible and let the audience decide what's good and what's bad, rather than you in your head going, no, I won't post that one when it could have got better reach anyway. So
There's that new thing, isn't it? Yapping. Do you yap?
no, yeah, not a thing we're experienced with at the moment. Yeah, there's always new platforms. It all depends on the audience. Obviously, TikTok's a young audience. When that first came out, we were still putting a lot of time into it and grew it massively to the point it's actually our biggest platform. But we don't take it as seriously as we do Instagram or LinkedIn or those sort of platforms, which is more our sort of target market.
Yeah.
So yeah, we do. If there's new ones where we can see the potential, we'll start growing them. Just because the audience will grow at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, we kind of try and stick to the ones where we know our core market are spending most of their time.
Oh, well, I think that's sort of understanding your audience, isn't it? You
Yeah.
know, I think that's the thing. So there was one thing. Did you meet that Matt Armstrong? Was it the YouTube where you saw his sports car? There was a story here, like you've spotted a sports car on YouTube, and basically they sort of garage makeover, and it sort of went to like millions of views and such.
No, not Not familiar.
No?
No.
Oh,
He
okay.
did. So Matt's obviously when we first did a job for him, I think he was fixing his girlfriend's car. That was his kind of first video, and he started blowing up there. And we did a floor. He was just a normal paying customer, didn't know who he was, just ordered tiles, fitted it himself, and then he's obviously moved units gradually, got bigger and bigger, and we've always done the flooring for him. But yeah, he's had a lot where he's fixed like supercars for other. I think there was a big one he did for a footballer, and that just literally went
Marcus
through the roof.
Rashford.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was one of his big ones. Yeah, so we laid a floor underneath that car at an event. So we did a YouTube video around that. That might have been what you saw.
Ah, right. Okay, perhaps. And then
Yeah.
probably come back off of
Yeah, so it
his
was just-
account, maybe.
Yeah, so he did a big car show, and we had a floor underneath the car, and obviously that got a lot of attention. So yeah, that's the only thing that springs to mind. So we did a bit of YouTube around that, so you might have seen some in there.
Yeah, I think that's because when I was doing my research, I was obviously you're quite, as we know, you're heavy onto the social media stuff. So
Yeah.
I managed to find an awful lot on all these platforms. So yeah, that explains that one. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's a pretty interesting business though. Like, why garage floors? Like,
Do you know what it is? I think it was just so big. I was looking for something unique at the time, and also for social media, it works well because it's such a big before and after.
Yeah.
So it's a quick transformation. Most of the time, it's a one-day job. So you get that before and after picture or before and after video. That's quite satisfying. So yeah, it was kind of something random that I came across and thought there's a market for that. And like, again, did a little bit of testing without. I think the first event I did, I had no company registered. Just kind of took some tiles with me and tested the market and got a load of leads and thought, yeah, there's some mileage in this.
yeah.
So yeah, obviously it's very niche, but sometimes it's good to be in a market.
Yeah,
It's not-
definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously there's a lot of people that have jumped on it since then. But most of them are small companies, and it's quite a hard business because you don't get any repeat. So you do get people move house or recommend you, but once you've done the floor, the garage is done and they don't need you again. So I think we make it look easy on social media, but a lot of companies come and go because they think they can just do a few Instagram posts and get a few customers. But like we do up to 80 garages a month, so we consistently need new leads every day, new people. So it is a content machine, and if we didn't have that,
It's building the pipeline, isn't it? Really.
yeah, and across all of our socials, we've got over 1 million followers, which has obviously been built back when it was a lot easier to do that. And if we didn't have that, the money you'd be paying for those leads is kind of wouldn't balance out.
So you've got a fair few 100,000 followers across your social media platforms, as you say.
Yeah.
With it being, as you said, like probably a bit more saturated now, what sort of things do you think, or tactics could you use to really stand out?
Yeah, so it is always changing. So we used to do a lot of transition
Don't
videos.
give all your skills,
Yeah.
obviously, but
You got to come to a class.
yeah. Oh yeah, I appreciate that. I'm just tap dancing around the edge.
Yeah, no, it's always changing. So we used to do a lot of transition videos. I don't know if you've seen, and like where you click and the floor changes.
Yep.
And that was kind of a trend we did probably for about 2 years, and then that stopped working so well. One big thing that you mentioned earlier is like the hook. So the first 3 seconds of the video, need to pay a lot of attention to that. But the main thing I always say is just consistency. A lot of people will try posts regularly for 3 weeks, and then like even friends of mine that have seen the success we've had and said, right, I'm going to have a go, and they post for 3 weeks and then give up because they say, no, I didn't get any leads out of it. But for us, I think if you look at our page, I can't remember the maths completely. I think we've done nearly 10,000 posts. Yeah. So it's like if you posted twice a day, it's going to take you years to get to that level.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we've been like, consistently posting every day, Christmas Day, no days off. If I'm sick in bed or hungover or anything's happening, I'm still posting. So it's I think consistency is the number one thing when it comes to growing on socials. But obviously there's loads of little tricks and tips that come with it.
Yeah, you mentioned the 3 seconds. Like I think Daniel Priest has said, isn't it? It used to be, I think it's like 11 seconds, and it was 7. Now it's 3.
Yeah,
like,
attention span.
It's just dropped to so much.
But you'll find yourself when you're going through social media now, you scroll so fast, and that's why it needs to just stop someone from scrolling straight away. Yeah. So that's why you'll see a lot of people, rather than like building the video up and starting from the beginning, it's like they'll show the finished product and then they'll go into the.
Yeah, I've seen that little trick, haven't they? Like it's almost like the punchline comes at the beginning.
Yeah, and everyone used to save that to the end. And we were even editing a video from the Goodwood show, which was asking everyone their prediction for the football Saturday night. And some of the people in there were like influencers and celebrities. So it was, we had one of them right at the end, and then it was like, well, no one's probably going to watch till a minute later, so then we put him right at the beginning. So it's just little things like that, but it does make a big difference, because when you see yourself scrolling through Instagram, you're going so fast now, you need something to catch out for you to stop scrolling.
Definitely.
So yeah, the first few, and Instagram will even tell you that. It used to be kind of like you say, Daniel Priestley or other people saying that trick, whereas you actually get notifications now saying like the hook is good, so it's going to get more reach.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's definitely a big tip.
So to grow, let's say for like the listeners now, let's say they've got, I don't know, 200-300 followers on one of their social media platforms. Are there any strategies or skills or anything they could adopt, let's say tomorrow?
Yeah, so
really
the good thing with
compounding
Instagram now, for example, so TikTok was always this way when it started, but Instagram never was. Instagram was more about how many followers you had, so it was kind of slower to build it. Whereas TikTok, you could have one video blow up when you had no followers, and you would jump followers, and Instagram's now that way as well. So we've had videos, I think we had one that went viral and we got like 30,000 followers off one video.
Jeez.
So it's now kind of a lottery. You can have a brand new page and have one video blow up, get to 5,000 followers, and then keep posting, and it kind of keeps going. So again, it comes down to just posting every day different types of content. The ones that are getting more likes, even if you're only getting 10 likes, if the next one gets 15, it's like, right, post more stuff like that, and kind of then tweak it, because every business is different.
Yeah.
If we take our exact social media model and put it into one of our other businesses, which we've done multiple times, it will never work exactly the same, because it's kind of tweaking it. And that's where it comes. A lot of people just outsource their marketing, and we've never outsourced it, but we've had people that we've employed to come in and do it, and it never does as well as when I do it. And it's just because, like I say, I'm not a social media guru. I've just kind of tweaked it and learned how to do it. And I think every business owner will know the best things to post and the best way to drive leads themselves. So yeah, I think keeping it in-house is another big thing. But a lot of people outsource and just kind of send a load of content, and I don't think that works very well.
I think years ago not years ago, because you're saying it still happens now, but I know for myself, a few years ago, there'd be like a digital marketing company that would cover all your digital marketing.
Yeah.
And then after lockdown, suddenly people were talking about personal brand.
Yeah.
And now, how can a digital marketing company talk about your personal brand, because it's not them? Like you say, it's you, isn't it?
Yeah, it's hard, and nobody knows the business better than yourself.
Exactly.
Nobody,
all the ins and outs, everything. No one sees.
And also, like I say, it's like it needs to be done regularly. I'm on it 24/7. A lot less now, but yeah, I used to be on it all the time. So it's like, you won't get that from an employee who comes in and works certain hours. Obviously, an employee is different. They'll spend a lot more hours, but an agency especially might spend a few hours a week.
Yeah.
And it's not just the posting, it's replying to comments, replying to messages, reaching out to other people that you think might be able to help. And there's a lot of that outreach that can be done through social media as well, which is another thing that does work. And in the early days, we had a lot of the early jobs, and it's like, oh, where did you find us? And they're like, oh, you just commented on one of my posts. So we've got a strategy for that as well, where certain people and posts will, rather than just messaging them, trying to sell them a floor, there's ways to kind of get their attention. So
the commenting on posts, does that work? Does that help?
Yeah, it depends on the business. So it works really well for like a localized business, because you can go, say if even here, for example, in Hanover Square, you could type in Hanover Square, see every single person that's tagged himself there, and then comment on all their posts. And if you're a business that is in this area, so that for localized, that's a bad example because it's London, so there's a lot of tourists. But say where we're from, you'll get more local people that are posting, tagging themselves in different places around the town, and commenting on all of their stuff. They're all likely to be local people or people around the area that you can then see your comments and think, oh, who's that then, and have a look. And depending on the business, it can work really well for that local.
Yeah, that's actually a really good strategy, isn't it? Certainly, like you say, for the local businesses, in like the smaller like cities and or towns, whatever you want to call them. But yeah, that's a really good strategy, actually. Yeah, really good.
But there's a lot that I always say I could talk about it all day long.
Yeah,
we're now doing. I've been training like people we know's marketing departments and stuff like that for a long time. Almost as favours most of the time, and helping people out, but now we're making it a bit more official. But I said to Jacob, who's my business development manager, he's also really good with social, so he's going to help out. Said, you've just got to rein me in and try and like put it into sections, because you can talk about it all day long. There's so much into it. It's not something that can be taught in a day, but there's a lot of little tricks that can help you.
So is it the Proven Content Club?
Proven Content Club, yeah. So
Yes.
it's
Tell me about that.
yeah, it's under our brand, and it's kind of just, like I say, making it more official, because people all the time are, how did you work with this person? How did you structure the deal? How you've grown the social media. So it's us trying to come up with a concept, and really it's some giving back. We are charging for it, but it's not an expensive price. But I've been on lots of those sort of things in the past. Like you say, seminars and specific social media ones, and you kind of go on them and look up the person that's running it and think, well, they haven't even got many followers themselves, sort of thing. And I think that's what gives us the edge, is we've already got the proof of what we've done with our brands using social media. So it's now giving those real life tips. A lot of those courses, as you all know, it's like you'll go on the course and they'll give you a bit of information and then say, now you've got to sign up to the $5,000 package to get the...
That's it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas we just want to make it affordable, actually give the right information, so people go away and tell everyone else, right, you need to go and do that, because it's really helped our business. So
But how would that... So let's say... Obviously, we just spoken about, like, when you jumped on it, it was really fortunate that you was in the right time.
yeah, it was good timing.
And then now it's a bit more saturated. How would you tell people now to do it in the Proven Content Club, knowing that it's saturated, and
Yeah.
your a lot of your followers came from when it was very good, which kind of isn't the way now. So
Yeah,
what
so-
kind of strategies would you now tell people to do that? So actually,
Yeah,
this is how you do it
the
nowadays.
strategies are always changing. So we're still getting big reach. We get about 30 million impressions a month. So we're always riding that same wave and always growing our audience, but it just, the techniques change along the way. So where influencers used to work really well, they don't work anywhere near as well, unless it's your Justin Biebers or your real big people.
Yeah, they still have a bit of pulling.
Yeah, even Matt Armstrong, because of his YouTube and his reach. So with the right people, it still works. But we still do influencers on a weekly basis. It's just, you have to structure the deal in the right way. So we're quite good at looking at people's audience and saying, right, that's our audience. It's not just about how many followers they've got, it's the engagement and everything else you have to look at. So that influencer side still works with the right people, and it's structuring the deal the right way. It doesn't have to be a case of doing it all for free. Sometimes it's like, we'll do all the flooring at normal price, but we'll throw in something for free or discounted. So yeah, structuring the deal. But like I say, it's also how the platform's evolving. So carousel post which is now getting more reach than reels. Not on, we've had one do really well, but it's kind of just introducing carousel posts every week, testing again, and they're starting to grow.
Do you think it's because they've got to do an action to see what the next steps are?
Possibly, yeah.
Stop and then kind of actually swipe to see.
Yeah, and it also pops up in the feed more than one time. So if we do a carousel and you see it, you'll see the first picture, and then another time when you're scrolling, it will show you that same post again, but as the second picture.
Oh, that's interesting.
So yeah, so it's multiple kind of.
And that's on Instagram.
Yeah, multiple chances to do it.
That's interesting.
But it's always evolving as well. Your hashtags used to be the way you get discovered. Now we do the odd hashtag on a post, but you can kind of scrap hashtags, and
They're not as
more
effective.
Yeah, it's more about like the keywords in the description, and if you're talking, what you're saying, and it will read all of that. So we
Keyword, like actually to the description. You know, you got the video, the reels, or the carousel. Then you've then got the description below.
Yeah, so
that part there.
Yeah,
is keywords.
so even without a hashtag, if you
interesting.
put garage flooring in there, if people are searching garage flooring, it will read that. So when you're writing the descriptions, it's like getting as many keywords as possible in there. But also it's clever enough to, if you're talking in the video, it knows what you're saying. So if you're talking about something specific, it will show it to the right kind of people. So we used to, for years, put 30 hashtags, which was the maximum, on every single post, and that was how the post got discovered. But now that doesn't work anymore. Now it's a case of keywords. So it's always evolving. Some parts are saturated and don't work, but there's always new parts that are working. So it's kind of finding those little tricks and being ahead of the curve.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
And like you said earlier, personal brand is a big one now. So we're trying to get a lot of our team involved in the content, talking and make it more personal. But that's a big thing that's happening now.
I think there was a thing at the end of last year. I mentioned Daniel Priest again. I really do love his stuff. He's a great guy.
Yeah, he's good.
He certainly seems, I don't know him, he certainly seems a great guy. And what he said was that if in 2026, those that win will be the ones that have promoted and worked on their personal brand.
Yeah.
And he also said that if you leave it too late, then it'll be like when an aeroplane is on a runway and it takes off and fog is coming in, but it takes off before the fog has arrived. But then once the fog is there, all the planes are at the bottom of the airport waiting to take off, but they can't until the fog's gone. Those that are above the fog is clear blue skies. they're the ones that have worked on their personal brand a lot more, but the ones that are on the runway have basically missed the trick.
Too late.
And that's too late.
Yeah, and I think it also comes down to how saturated it is, because it's the rise of the personal brand. Everyone's trying now. It's so yeah, it is harder, but I think it's important. It's something I'm not as good as I should be at. I go through phases of jumping on a load of podcasts and filming YouTube videos and stuff like that, and then recently I've just been snowed under, so this is the first one I've done for a while, but I want another one on Monday.
I'm honoured.
Yeah, I want another one on Monday, so yeah, it's something that I need to put more time into. I do have my own personal page, and that does well for us, but especially with this new social media training we're doing, I think that's all about personal brand.
So say you need, let's say you're selling a product like the Proven Content Club. How would you word it, or how would you go? Which strategy would you adopt? So let's say, I don't know, stop me if I'm going down a bit of a rabbit hole here, but let's say you've got the post and then a carousel or video, whatever it is, and you need someone to sign up or to buy. What would be the strategies you would adopt to get that engagement?
Yeah, so...
Because that's a lot more than 3 seconds, isn't it? Now they've got to read it, they've got to listen to it, and then they've got to sign a form.
Yeah, so there's two ways of doing it, really. Either we use a lot of just message us for more information, just to try and get a chat going, but there's also...
like DM me for... Okay, I see.
Yeah, so we do a lot of that, but there's also... click the link in the bio. Obviously, we've got inquiry forms there. But one good thing is ManyChat. Do you know about that?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, so that's, for anyone who doesn't know, it's like an automation that links into Instagram. So a lot of our posts will say comment quote below for a quick quote. And if they do that, it then automatically DMs them the right link to get a quote. So that works quite well.
Yeah, that's interesting.
For driving those leads. But I think like we get a lot of messages sometimes like, where can I buy the flooring? And for me, it's always like, if they can't work out how to click on the website, it's probably not someone who's serious enough to go and buy it. So
yeah, that's a fair point.
So we do a lot of that, but I also just think just make as much noise as you can online, and the serious people who actually want to work with you or want to buy your product will go and find it online.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's something new we've been doing, the sort of automations, which again is worth it, especially for like service-based business that can't sell something on the website.
Yeah, I think there's so many skills to it now, and like you say, because it's getting saturated, there's so much noise on there. Let's say, especially with AI now as well. Like a lot of times, don't even know if you're looking at something's been generated by AI. It was actually a person now, isn't it? It's crazy.
Yeah.
So that now has saturated it even more. So to stand out is even harder, and to get someone engaged is harder still. So you reckon a Proven Content Club has got the strategies and teaches people how to kind of
and we don't like I say, we don't pretend to be professionals or have any sort of secrets. It's kind of just the tips and tricks that we've developed over the years, and they're always changing. We've got like the guy that does our videography who's employed by us has got over 1 million TikTok followers, so he's a lot better at TikTok than I am.
Right.
So he's brought a lot of those strategies. But yes, it's just all the real life things. Some of it's basic, like just changing the bio. There's some tricks I could show with the bio that like people aren't putting basic things in there to make them come up in the right searches.
Right.
So some of it's like that. But I was speaking to someone the other day who does painting and decorating, and he's actually booked on for our August course. And just looking at his page, it's in my head, it's so easy what he needs to do to get better reach. So with that sort of stuff, and sometimes the business, I look at it and kind of think it's a hard business, it's hard to sell it. I don't really have much advice, and we'd have that conversation. People can't just pay online, they have to have a chat with us. So if we don't think
onboarding core discovery sort of thing, I see.
So
that's good.
If we don't think we can help them, we'll honestly say, because like I said, I want people to come on the course, love it, get a load of value from it, and go and tell everyone else about it. So certain businesses are a lot harder, but anything, I feel like our expertise is like home service businesses and e-commerce. Just from what we've done with ours. But yes, a lot of the time it's only basic tweaks that make a big difference, and it's just people don't know a lot of it. So it's like once you've explained it, little things like we used to put before and after pictures, and we used to put them the wrong way around, so when it stays on your page you could only see the before picture.
Right, okay.
So when someone's scrolling through, they can just see a load of dusty old garages rather than scrolling through and seeing the finished product. So just by reordering them, that was something we did early.
So the after first?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Then that's the one that stays on the profile. So when someone's scrolling through, they can see all the nicely done garages rather than the dusty before garages. Right. You see a lot of people still doing their before and after pictures the wrong way around. And that's a really basic example. But there's lots of things when I look at pages,
that's
it's like just some basic tweaks. And cutting certain bits out where you'll lose engagement. If you've got a good video but there's one part that's rubbish, it's like it needs to be chopped out because people will swipe away at that point. So yeah, there's loads of little things, but
No,
they make a
it's
big
really
difference.
Because I've obviously been doing the podcast for a little while now, and so you meet different business owners and various stories, and it's just absolutely amazing. And I had a guy on here a couple of weeks ago, and I asked him, what's the one biggest tip that you would give business owners? And he said content.
Yeah.
He said literally content, as much as you possibly can.
Yeah.
And he doesn't do marketing anywhere else, and he's built a business from like zero to like millions. And now it's only content. He just posts every single day, and he just says by his phone, and has been for like he has a YouTube channel now. He's had for a couple of years, and there's not much engagement on there, but it's just the fact that he's just there all of the time, shows up every single week.
Yeah, and you meet a lot of people who say they don't need to do it.
Yeah,
that's always a good one. I've got friends who have got successful businesses, and it's like I've been telling them, right, you need to get on socials, and they're like, we don't need to, and I'm like, you don't need to now, but in 10 years, when the people like us come into your industry and disrupt it, you need to be ahead of the curve, because most people wait until someone does do that, and everyone then wants to use the person down the road who's known, and it's then too late, like you say, the aeroplane's taken off, and you can't catch them up. So
that's it.
I always think, even if you don't think you need to use social media, there's no better time to start than now, because one day you will need to use it, and you're then starting from zero.
There's a mastermind group that I've members of, and one of the leading guys in there, he's like super wealthy, and he's friends with all these people like Simon Squibb, Daniel Priestley, and all them, Nigel Farage, and he's all in that sort of like higher circle. And he said that a fair few number of those people they're literally hundreds of millions of pounds. Like they could retire tomorrow, don't have to work ever again. But he said that they've now literally scrapped a lot of their marketing campaigns for their businesses, and they've literally just hired videographers to like follow them around all of the time now. And that's all they do, is just create this content.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So if you think these people are worth hundreds of millions of pounds, and they're taking that route, because they're seeing personal branding, all that sort of thing.
Yeah,
like Simon
you
Squibb's one of them.
Like the like you say with Nigel Farage, you see him spending a lot of time on social media. But even in America, with Trump being elected, he was using like Jake Paul and some of the big influencers.
Oh, and Joe Rogan, didn't he? That was a big one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They reckon that sort of tipped the scales, apparently.
Yeah, and using influencers to market it, which is obviously something new, but they obviously see the power of it. And you do see a lot of social stuff, which is what's going to appeal to the next generation.
I think when people like that are doing stuff like that, I think you've got to pay attention.
Yeah.
You know, because you think these guys, they don't have to work ever again for the rest of their life, and they've got more money they can spend in 50 lifetimes. Yeah. But they're doing it.
Yeah.
So surely you've got to pay a bit of attention to that, you know?
And I suppose those people, it's like people are always going to watch what they're doing. But even at a smaller level, like I said to you a minute ago, we've got a podcast that we're just starting up. But it's like some of the people coming on are really small businesses, but everyone's got a story to tell. Everyone's doing interesting things or hitting the same problems as other business owners. So I think even if you think you've got a fairly boring business, just showing the behind the scenes, and it'd be interesting to someone who's trying to do the same industry.
Yeah, I think those that will make it or do something with their personal branding and marketing in this new way, or not new way, it's been away for a age, isn't it? Are those that have sort of like probably thought, you know what, I've had enough standing in the audience, I now need to go and be the main show. Yeah. And stand on the stage and show everyone who I really am. And I think those would be the ones that do pretty well. Yeah, because you get a lot of people who kind of wait for the right time to do it. Yeah, and they're just happy to stay in the audience and just watch everybody else. But I think those that really step up on the stage and say, well, look, here's me, this is what I do. Yeah. And really take initiative and using it. I think like this guy that I spoke of, built his businesses, he just posts like a couple of times a day. Yeah. Oh, that wasn't meant to ask you. Do you think there's any value in, is it like the higher amount of times that you post? Let's say, for instance, on Instagram, you post 2, 3, 4 times a day. Yeah. Much value in that?
Because what you used to post used to mainly go to your followers and a bit of external people. It used to be like, don't post too much because you'll piss everyone off. Yeah. So we used to kind of not go mad and only post stuff that we thought was good. Whereas now it's gone the other way. It's like more people who don't follow you will see your post than do follow you.
Oh, so it's like more of a chance of actually being seen.
Yeah, so now it's like post as much as possible, and your followers don't tend to see every post you post anyway unless they're engaging with it. Yeah. So it is a lottery, and the way I've always picture it is like, if you post once a week, when you post and I like your post, then next week it will show me it again. But if there's somebody else who's posting every day and I'm liking their stuff every day, they'll kind of overtake you and it's more likely to show me their stuff. So that's the way I picture it, that the more you post, the more likely you are to grow. And where it is a bit of a lottery now, as in one post can blow up, it's just worth putting out as much as possible and
There was again this guy that I know. He earns a couple of million from his social media posts, and so he at the Christmas time he has like some winter ball,
yeah,
and one of them was social media content, and he said. He goes, don't be afraid. He goes, if you don't feel too bad that your post slumped and no one saw it. He goes, because nobody saw it. He goes, so nobody knows it when it was bad.
Yeah, it's true.
He goes, so just post. He goes, just do it.
I'm never really too fussy with it. Just post it, and I think any engagement's good. Whether they're saying bad things, good things. If people are commenting, people are seeing it, and the more comments you get, the more people will see it. So, I'm never too fussy with it. Just post as much as possible.
Go for it. Just go for it. So, I mean. Every business has its ups and downs.
Yeah.
But it certainly seems you're one that's had a lot of ups. Has there ever been downs?
So we've grown every year since we started.
Yeah.
We've grown the team, we've grown the revenue, we've bought now a big property last year, which was a big move for us. Brilliant. So we're always growing, but there is always problems at the same time. So lots of small day-to-day problems that every business has had, but we've had our big ones along the way.
Yeah.
Falling out with suppliers who have tried to do us over. Employees that we've had to sack and had backlash from. So it's we've had our fair share of stressful times and things that we have to go through. But I think that's all about growing as a company and getting through those problems and not making the mistakes again and kind of moving on to the next.
So what lessons do you think you would take from those sort of incidences that you've had?
I think
down parts.
We've one big thing like supplier. Well, one I don't know if you know James Sinclair. Follow a lot of his content.
I absolutely love James Sinclair.
Yeah, follow a lot of his content. I've been to a lot of his events.
Brilliant.
We've done his garage, and I called him last week.
Why don't we say that at the beginning? He's bigger than Paul.
Yeah, and he's helped us with advice over the years. But he's always one to say don't rely on any one person. So one supplier, one big customer. Because if that goes down, it can be catastrophic. So I think that's helped having multiple suppliers, having multiple people in the team that can do each thing. So we're not relying on one person. Because whenever we have those times when something goes wrong, there's always a workaround to like a backup plan. So I think it's always kind of spreading the risk.
Yeah.
But yes, most of the things that have happened to us, we've just sailed straight through it, and obviously lose some sleep along the way. But nothing that's been kind of like down tools, and there's nothing we can do.
I think everybody, because I've been told too that like it's almost like a positive attitude or a positive mindset or a can-do or a solution finding rather than the problem finding kind of attitude.
Yeah,
and I think that when you do that, whatever problem comes up, because you've just got that awareness of finding a solution to a problem, that problem now suddenly isn't really a big deal.
Yeah, and I think
you've got the confidence of, well, okay, that sounds really bad and it is really bad, but I know I will find a way.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And I think in the moment you're stressed out and losing sleep, but then a week later you kind of found a workaround. But we're always one for putting stuff right. Like if we sent someone the wrong tiles and they're in Manchester, like I'm putting the tiles in a same day courier and spending more on the courier than we made off the job.
Yeah.
One of our garage door fitters has had an injury recently, and even today I've got another team that have gone in to fit his jobs for today that's probably costing us more than we made on the job, but just to not let the customer down. So we're always finding a workaround, and like you say, there's always a solution to it.
That's a good customer experience delivery though. That's amazing.
And everyone always says I never get stressed out, but I'm like, I just don't show it. I'm like losing.
You certainly seem like quite a calm character.
Sleep a lot of the time, but like you say, there's always a workaround. Or I've got some good people that I can ask advice, and everyone's had similar problems when you reach out to other big business owners. So normally there's someone who's been there.
Funny, isn't it? How many times it's happened?
Yeah,
how many stories you hear?
Yeah, exactly.
Really,
and then
funny.
Every I don't know whose quote it was, but it's like smooth seas don't make skilled sailors.
Well,
and I think
James Sinclair says that a lot.
He says it.
That's probably what you've heard.
And I think that's something that like when you're in those moments, I kind of say it to myself, like we'll get through it and then we'll be stronger afterwards. So
yeah, that's right. Definitely. Yeah, definitely. So you're what would you say your highest point of business journey so far?
So two things that stick out. One, we went back to Mercedes where I used to work and did our biggest job to date. Wow. So that was about a week before.
You did their floor?
Yeah, did floor in about 10 of their workshops. that was our biggest job to date. I think it was like 180 grand order for us, which was massive, and it was paid in full before we laid a single tile and just before COVID.
Brilliant.
So that was a big moment, and going back to where we used to work and doing all the floor, so that was pretty cool. And then probably doing Jake Paul's floor.
I bet.
We've done, like I say, Justin Bieber and some other people, but that was just a crazy trip because we actually went there, filmed it all, spent some time with him, went to his training and stuff like that. So yeah, that was pretty mad, and for the business, as in like a branding move, was huge.
Yeah. Well, we talk about personal branding, and he just pretty much sums up what personal branding is all about, doesn't he? Really?
Yeah, exactly. And he's still a big supporter of the brand. Potentially be going back to his new place over the next few months to do another project out there. So
that's brilliant.
Yeah. That was
to have him as a repeat customer.
Yeah, good testimony
with his connections. Yeah, exactly. That's it. Yeah. So you've obviously got a family. Yeah. And I think, is it children?
Yeah. So I've got one little boy, Tommy, who's 4. He's been, like, our old unit was walking distance from my house.
Okay.
My wife's got a company called Custom Style with similar branding to ours that does all the printed clothing.
Yeah.
So she prints all our workwear and loads of our customers. A really nice little business, but she's always been at the unit as well. So he's grown up running around the unit.
Wow.
Even when he was a few weeks old, he was in the unit and around people, so he's really confident and he just loves it. He came to Goodwood at the weekend and he's there giving out brochures at 4 years old, speaking to people. And
that is amazing.
Yeah, so he's
destined for great things, and
he loves it. He's so into his cars and stuff, and like there's a drift driver that we sponsor, Danny Grundy he's called, is a really good guy, helps us out a lot, and like he's sat him on his lap and taking him out in the car, and like, so he's just car mad and he loves it.
Yeah, brilliant. That's amazing.
So yeah, he'll be selling floors soon. He sold his first floor at Super Fest a few weeks back.
He might come up with another niche.
Yeah,
overtake his dad.
Yeah, he sold his first floor at a show a few weeks ago for one of our old customers. Just
it's a marketing campaign.
Yeah, literally paid him cash. So
yeah, brilliant.
He's got some pocket money to go and spend on cars, and then they thought he didn't have to work for the rest of the day then, but he loves it. He's there speaking to people, handing out leaflets, and
brilliant.
I think as he gets older he'll be more and more involved, so we'll have him laying floors soon in no time.
Yeah, definitely. Well, my question was going to be, how do you manage family life with business life, traveling so much? Well, it sounds like you're doing pretty well because you're involving
I think that's
family into it.
Yeah,
brilliant.
That does help because, like, my wife Charlotte works from our same unit, so now we've got a new unit, but she's got her own space and showroom in there, so they're there a lot. And then, like I say, weekends he comes to a lot of the shows. This weekend we're going to like a motorbike show and he's desperate to come with me, so yeah, he gets involved with all of that, and some of the big trips they've come with us as well.
Yeah.
So Charlotte also works for our business. So yeah, like Matt Armstrong's, they came along for the journey. So we just try and kind of include it as much as possible, and then I just try and switch off after 5 o'clock, which isn't so easy. But now we've got like operations managers and people that can deal with any issues. I kind of try and walk in through the door and forget about it, but not always so easy.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean it's a hard line to walk, isn't it? You have to be very balanced and very mindful of where you spend your time, and if you look at it like accounts, isn't it? If one's running a bit dry, you need to invest a little bit into that account and so on. But
and also
people balance is very hard, definitely.
Yeah, and I think it also comes with like employing the right people.
Yeah, true.
Even with my eBay thing, when it got to a level, we had a girl employed that used to come to my house every day to do that. Because back then I was like working all day at Mercedes and then coming home and working all night doing eBay stuff. So little things like that just to free up time, and try and, like, some of our other team, it's like make sure they're calling the operations manager with issues rather than calling me at the night time with problems. So yeah, it's kind of trying to get the right team in place to free my time up as well.
Yeah, no, well, it sounds like it's going very well.
Yeah, no, we've got a really solid team now.
Yeah,
so it's moving in the right direction.
I've got a couple of quick fire round questions.
Yep.
So, best money you've ever spent in business?
I would say investing in staff.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, like I remember. Well, it's not going to be a quick answer.
No, go for it, mate.
Yeah, like the first staff member was my brother, but taking him, he was working at Mercedes, taking him out, it then freed my time up, so it wasn't me laying the floors every day. So that it then means that, because sometimes I'm laying floors and missing 10 phone calls on my phone, and it's like I should have been selling the next floors rather than laying the first one. So by having him on board, it helped with fitting. He was also doing some sales and kind of saw the power of growing that. So yeah, staff I think is always a big one, and personal development. So going to those seminars, meeting the right people. Like you said, I've been in masterminds, I've done business coaching, and I think, working on myself as well is a big one.
Yeah, I think self-development and personal investment is one of the best things you can ever invest in, because it can never be taken away. You know, there's very few things in this world that can not be taken away, and that's definitely one of them, isn't it? You know, like once you've learned it, you've taught yourself how to do it,
just
and that's
being
it.
around those sort of people. And
Environment, very important, definitely. So the best celebrity garage you've ever done?
I've already said Jake Paul, so who should I say next? I'll say Matt Armstrong's, even though we already mentioned that. But from a point of view of like the reaction afterwards and the amount of leads we get, and just being at events, everyone's like, "Are you the guys that did Matt Armstrong's floor?" So that's one of the best ones I'd say we've done, as in how it came out, because it was the resin, so it was something a bit different.
So
the reaction afterwards.
So from a marketing standpoint and perhaps like a craftsmanship standpoint, would you say?
Yeah, and it was a hard one to do. We were in Florida, there was problems, we didn't have our tools, so we were borrowing tools, and it was a week of like up and downs with issues, but the finish was just amazing, and the result online just went crazy.
Brilliant. Oh well, yeah, that certainly ticks that box. So one quick tip on growing a business.
Social media, I think, is the main thing that we're good at, that we've always done. But just being active on social media, not doing the odd post and saying it doesn't work, just really coming up with a strategy and sticking to it and giving it a full year of posting every day.
Yeah.
Whenever I hear someone saying social media doesn't work, I'm like looking on their profile, how many posts have they done? How long have they been trying for? Because it is you do have to play that long game.
Definitely. I'll tell you, it would be really handy if there was a place you can go and learn about social media, wouldn't it?
That's it, yeah. That's the thing.
Do you know one?
Everyone's been asking us all the time. So that's why we've formalised that.
So how can people get in touch with you and find out about the course you've got going on?
Yeah, so the social media stuff is all on provencontentclub.com, or my Instagram page, Harry at Garage Style. That's Harry_Garage Style it is, but that's where I post content and can speak to anyone who wants help growing their socials. But we're running monthly classes, just small groups, 3 or 4 businesses, and also doing some one-on-one stuff for people that need that sort of like initial advice.
Brilliant.
So yes,
yeah,
going well.
Excellent. Well, Harry, thank you very much for coming on. I've really enjoyed it. And
thanks for having
when
me.
I looked into the research beforehand, I was like, yeah, this is a really interesting story. And then, of course, you've got the big names as well, which is quite a eye-catching moment as well. But I love the way you're sort of like gone into, there's a thing, wasn't it? I think it was, there's always cash flow in what you know. And it's like, that's exactly what you've done. You've kind of, all the skills that you've developed over the years of developing social media and your accounts, you're now turning it into some cash flow. Yeah,
and like I say, I've been on some
helping
courses.
Others, which is amazing.
Yeah, and I've been on some of those courses, and like I say, they haven't been valuable. And I just was thinking recently, if I had gone on my own course 10 years ago, it would have just like like I say, we've grown every year, but I'm sure that curve would have been a lot sharper because we would have known what we were doing back then. So I think we can give a lot of value to people that are in a similar boat.
Brilliant. Well, Harry, thanks very much.
No, thanks for having me.
Cheers then. Thank you.
Thanks.
Cheers, mate.